Welcome, everybody, to episode 175 of The Effing Title. I, as always, I'm your host, Big Husky, and this is a picture of DeNutte. DeNutte, unfortunately, was not able to be here this weekend, because he's doing some things. So hopefully he's relaxing, having a good time, and, just enjoying what he's up to this weekend, right? So it's just me this weekend. So I was wondering what we gonna do, right? Then I started thinking about it. Right, the last 2 weeks for me has been pretty hectic with work, and I was trying to think, what could I do today that would be an interesting podcast, or even just something in general, right? Because this is just a weekly thing. Right. Sometimes we talk about important stuff. Sometimes we don't. Sometimes we talk about the big issues, and then sometimes we wonder what everyone's favorite cookie is. Let me know down in the comments which one your favorite cookie is. But right, so so it all depends on that. So I was thinking about it. I'm like, you know what? For people that don't know, that don't watch my normal streams, this webcam frame used to be my old frame. I had it for like 2-3 years. This is the first thing I bought once I became an affiliate. Once I became an affiliate with Twitch, I decided, you know what, I'm going to upgrade my stuff and make everything look a little bit better. So I did that, and it's been about 2-3 years now since I did that. So recently, I've been slowly upgrading and updating stuff, making it more personal and more my style, right? Actually making things that are based for me instead of having things that you can just buy out there that everybody has. And then I started thinking about this. I've yet to update this because I started doing it right before I started updating stuff right before we started doing the effing title again. Me and DeNutte doing it. So with that being said, and I thought this would be a good time to do it because it was a nice, easy little tester thing. All right. I'd like to introduce to you guys the first look at the effing title when it is a solo thing. So this is how the page is going to look when it's a solo thing. When it's just me by myself, this is how everything's going to look. I thought this was a solid upgrade. We still have DeNutte down in the corner over there hanging out, right? Because he's always here. Even when he's not here, he's always here. So this is the new frame. And then above this is kind of the really cool thing. So first things first as well, I'll put some music on. Right? We're going to listen to some Grizzy beats while we do this today. This is going to be a nice, kind of quickish one, I think. Kind of quickish podcast, I think, maybe. Depends on how everything goes, honestly. But with that being said, and I just realized that I might need to change something here as we go along, but we are going to talk about the newest thing that's been coming out this past week, which is MagicCon in Minneapolis. So MagicCon in Minneapolis has come out, is here. They're doing stuff over there, and they have released a bunch of new previews for stuff. So I thought, why not just take a quick peek through some of the stuff that they have. So as you can see from the first thing here, and I had to make a quick little adjustment. So the first thing is Universes Beyond, right? The new thing that they're doing. We've had Warhammer as the main big one, right? The Warhammer 40k. So next is Doctor Who. And I think Doctor Who is just going to be a Commander set. I don't think it's going to be like the Lord of the Rings Universe Beyond, which is going to be a full-on set, which I can't wait for. But yeah, so we're going to go through and look at some of the stuff that they announced for these different things at MagicCon Minneapolis. So Doctor Who was the first thing they announced. And with that, they announced one of the first decks, a Blast from the Past. It's going to be green, white, blue, and it's the first 8 Doctors. And I thought that was kind of cool. I thought that was kind of cool that they're doing each one of the commander decks, or each for the entire set, right? Set commander decks, I guess. They're having all the doctors in it, and I thought that was really kind of cool. But yeah, so interesting to start off with, right? The first 8 doctors in this, which is kind of cool. It contains a collector booster sample pack plus 2 legendary rainbow foils. So I'm interested to see what the collector boosters are for this. Genuinely, because with it being a solo thing, right? Solo Doctor Who thing. I wonder what the collector boosters are going to be. Are they going to be? Let's see here. When this comes out in a couple months, is it going to be March of the Machine? March of the Machine Aftermath? Is it going to be just some random, like, you know, like, hey, here's 20 cards that are all Doctor Who based, or here are 20 cards that are all Commander based, or is it going to be part of Eldraine, which I think is one of the next ones we're getting, which we'll get into in a little bit, because they did show a little bit of Eldraine. But first off, like I said, starting off, Blast from the Past, green, white, blue. Stop with the commercials. Green, white, blue to start. Interesting. First 8 doctors. I love the fact they're doing all the doctors in it. Then we get timey-wimey, which is doctors 9, 10, 11. So we get the boy, right here. We're going blue, red, white for this one. Yet again, same thing. Doctors 9, 10, 11. 2 collector boosters, 2 legendary rainbow foils. So these are going to be solid little packs here, nonetheless. Paradox Power, Doctors 12 and 13. And it's going to be green, blue, red. And then the final one is Masters of Evil. The Doctor's greatest villains. And all I know from this is that this is a Dalek. Exterminate. That's all I know. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. That's literally all I know for this. Blue, black, red. I think this is kind of cool. It's kind of cool. I like seeing this, and I like seeing these becoming a thing. I just want to see real quick. Okay, there we go. I was back there. All right. My mom is English. My mom grew up with Doctor Who, like the OG original, like. The first 8 doctors like Doctor Who, and it was funny because I was showing her this, and I said it's funny to me that in my card game it's Daleks, and it made me think of a story that you told me, which was when my mom and my Uncle Lady, sorry to throw you out under the bus here, Uncle Lady, a story Uncle Lady used to tell me, which is when they first introduced the Daleks, they were so freaking terrifying because of course back in those days there was nothing really like this. It was all kind of brand new, right? When the Daleks came on the screen and it was the exterminate, that they would be hiding behind the couch, like peering over the top of the couch to watch the show. So that made me immediately think of my mom and my Uncle Lady when I saw this, and I love that. I love that it's able to do stuff like that, and it's kind of they're embracing it to the point where it doesn't feel like it's overly done, right? It feels like it's very classily done. Because look at some of the lands, I really like the lands, to be genuinely honest with you, because they all have the TARDIS in it, and it's all different locations that have been throughout Doctor Who, which would be kind of cool. I'm intrigued to see if there's full art of these. Also, I just realized that the TARDIS is the logo. I love that. Love that the TARDIS is the logo. I would love to know if there's full arts of these, or if they're just going to be left like this. Either way, they look awesome, and I really like the look of them. And the plane chase, the planes are back. Because, of course, if you're going to have the TARDIS and Doctor Who going to all these different places, you need to have the TARDIS. Or you need to have the plane chase. So this is the first one that they showed us, which is the Lux Foundation Library. It's a plane, the library. Players have no maximum hand size. Whenever a creature you control deals combat damage to a player, you may draw a card. Whenever chaos ensues, put a shadow counter on a target creature. A creature with a shadow counter cannot be blocked. Cannot block or be blocked by only creatures with shadow. So Shadow's back, which is kind of interesting. I didn't even realize that the first time I read this card, but they just announced that right there. That to me says that there's probably gonna be other creatures within the Doctor Who set that have shadow. So that's kind of cool. I'm excited to see how this plays out in the long term. And here's some important dates for everyone. I'm not going to be buying anything from this one, personally. But our first look is July 28th. That's probably when we get a look at the actual like commanders for each one of the decks. Probably a look at some of the cards. October 3rd is the debut, and then 13th is the launch. So, oh my god, so many freaking commercials today on this. I will listen to this playlist when while I'm doing stuff for like actual stream. No interruptions, no nothing. It just plays, just do. Right now, every goddamn one, commercial. But yeah, so there's the dates. Let me know if you guys are excited for the Doctor Who Universes Beyond. I think it's interesting. Like I said, I like the idea of doing Universes Beyond. It's a nice thing where if it's an every year thing that they're gonna start doing like 1 or 2, right? If they start doing this thing where they do 1 commander only and then 1 full set, I think that could be kind of cool. My only issue would be that later, eventually, right, they might run out of potential crossovers. That's my only thing, right? But if we already got Lord of the Rings, we got Doctor Who, we got Warhammer, it's probably only going to be a matter of time until they try to get either DC, Marvel, or like Star Wars. In my opinion, it is only a matter of time until they try, main word here, don't get it twisted, try to get those, right? It'd be interesting to see. But so that's the first part of what they showed us. And then we go into Wilds of Eldraine, which is the next set that we have coming out, other than March of the Machine Aftermath, which, honestly, I'm not gonna lie, I saw most of the leaks. I've seen the cards that have been coming out for it. I've already bought a collector booster, which I hate that I did, now after the fact, but I'm more excited for this. I never got to play Eldraine, so I'm really excited to be able to play it. I like the idea of it being like the fantasy world. So they didn't announce a whole lot for Eldraine, it looks like. I haven't actually... So there is a video out there somewhere. I'll put it in the link. I haven't watched the video. I just saw the updates on Twitter when they were coming out. And this is kind of what I'm basing this all off of. But this is the first set after the Phyrexian invasion and after Aftermath. So it's kind of... It'll be interesting to see what is being set up, potentially. Because, of course, they're always going to have to try to set up some sort of big bad, right? So I'm wondering if they're either going to set up some big bad or if they're just going to show how every plane reacted after the events of the Phyrexian invasion. Which I think that would be really cool if they just did a single set and they just do that for the next, like, 5, 6, 7 sets. Just go to a different plane, just showing how they're recouping after the events of the Phyrexian invasion, right? But we're starting with the Wilds of Eldraine. I never got to play Eldraine, but I like the idea of the fairy tale world. So this is what we did get, though. We did get some full art looks at some of the cards. So this is Erida of the Charmed Apple. I don't know what this card does. I'm going to say this right now. I don't know what this card does. I don't know what fucking color is this going to be. But what I can tell you is this. I want this card. I want it. I want it. I want it. I want every version of it. This looks so cool to me. I love the look of her. I love the fact that in the broken mirror that is her, like... collar, there's an old woman version of her, it looks like. She's holding a crystal apple, which is a charmed apple, and it looks like it's emanating some mist off of it, right? I love everything about this. I want to know more about this person. If people know more about her, I would love to know, right? But this is a card I'm going to try to get, even if I don't pull it even if I don't pull it in my normal collector booster. I'm going to try to buy it as a single. And as a side note, on TikTok, if you guys have TikTok, every single week on Monday night, I do Husky Opens, which is me just opening a single pack of cards. It can range from Magic, it can range to Yu-Gi-Oh!, it can range to Cardfight Vanguard, it goes to Dragon Ball, it goes to Lord of the Rings, like actual Lord of the Rings, Pokemon. I'm just all over the place. If there's a booster pack of it, I'm going to try to get it and see what I can get and just kind of have some fun with it. I've been enjoying getting back into cards again. So, this is really kind of cool. I'm really excited about this. Another one I'm really excited about that I wasn't thinking I would be is Will, the Scion of Peace. I love the look of him. You know, So we've made the transition from Husky Kingdom to Husky Nation to Husky Kingdom over the years. All right, and I've always said, the King in the North, as the Game of Thrones thing, right? The King in the North, because I'm up in the northeast of America. So seeing this immediately, I was like, God, that's so cool looking, and I never would have thought of it, right? Just kind of the look of it, everything. I love the look of this. It's interesting considering the last time I saw these two, card-wise, was Strixhaven. We saw them. I think we heard about them. I could be wrong about this, but I think we heard about them during the Phyrexian War, right? However, I don't remember fully hearing about them. The last I remember hearing about them, though, was in Strixhaven. So, his will, and of course that means that there's Rowan, who is the Scion of War, which I feel like is interesting because I felt like it was the other way around in the story before, and now it's switched. I could be wrong about that. But either way, just the look of these two is incredible. I love the look of these two, right? I love it. The Scion of Peace, the Scion of War. Also, who I need someone out there to help me out with this. Who does she look like? This face looks like a celebrity's face, and I can't put a picture. I can't actually visualize the name of the person. So I need you guys to help me out with that. Who does that look like? But either way, this card looks awesome too. I'm probably not gonna get Rowan, right? But I'm definitely gonna try to get Will. I love this. I think this is just, for me personally, this is awesome. I'm really hoping that he's some sort of knight. I don't think we're getting Planeswalkers back, but I could be wrong about that. But either way, awesome. Love it. Same thing with her. I love the design of her. So I'm intrigued to see what happens in Eldraine, right? What happens in the wilds of Eldraine, and what happens with these two? Because it looks like now, with being the Scion of Peace, and the Scion of War, it feels like maybe something has happened, and they are actually going their own separate ways, right? Ashiok, the Wicked Manipulator, arrives, and she is looking stunning as always. I'm intrigued by this one as well. I think it's a she. Now that I say that, I know. I mean, the Nightmare. How about that? The Nightmare looks intriguing as ever. How am I getting a Rocket League egg? Stop that. Oh, so I'm not gonna play that one. There we go. Yeah. So I'm intrigued by this. The colors of it look great. Overall, I love just the artwork on this. I'm not a huge Ashiok player. I've seen her cards. I've never played during Theros, any of the Theros stuff. So Theros is kind of one of the... It's almost like Eldraine. It's one of the ones I just have no idea about. I've just either read stuff about it, watched videos on it, or I've seen the cards themselves. But I wasn't actually introduced to it like everyone else was when it first came out. And then we get Sir Ginger, the Meal Ender. The only reason why I know about this is because of the video. That's the only reason why I know about this. I remember when I first started doing reactions to the Magic trailers, I went back and watched to see how many of them there were that I had never seen, and I watched the one for Eldraine with her and her hubby dying. So seeing this is the funniest freaking thing, and it really kind of like, I'm hoping that there's a gingerbread tribal deck that I can make, because I think that'd be freaking hilarious. I doubt there is, but could you imagine like going into it and playing this one that's just running pure tribal gingerbread? I think that'd be hilarious. So we get a look at the first packaging. The packaging looks great, by the way. The colors pop. I love the fact that it's a darkish purple. They hit straight away, and then the actual colors of the lettering are like this, like gold, and then like silver, right? This metallic silver and gold. I love that. So up top here, we get a look at draft boosters. Interesting that just notice this. You can kind of see that they are fighting each other here, so that's kind of interesting. Set booster right here. With our girl, she's there. Collector booster box, and it's interesting. Wilds of Eldraine is a different writing than the other ones, So that's going to be the writing that's on those. I like both. Honestly, I like both styles. I think both styles are really good. Also interesting. So we have her. Then we have a little jelly smiley face. We got cupcakes that are angry. We got cakes that are angry. I'm excited about that. That's going to be wild to see. Here's the 2 pre-con commander decks that we have. So we have a Virtue and Valor. Buff your creatures, crush your foes. Green-white. Includes a collector booster sample pack and 2 traditional foiled legendaries. And then we have Fey Domination. Summon flocks of fairies, play tricks. I like that. This was one of the first, funnily enough, for everyone out there that doesn't know this, the first commander deck I was thinking about making was a fairy deck. I was going to make a fairy deck, and I was just going to be an absolute just D-bag and run white-blue fairy and just counter, trap, pacifism, just all of those. We got a first look at the bundle. I have already pre-ordered the bundle. Not even gonna lie to you guys. I already pre-ordered this. It's already in my cart. It's ready. Once the set hits, boom, it's mine. 8 set boosters, foil lands, rare card. I'm excited to see what comes in this. And then there's the pre-release. It looks really cool. I like the look of it. Overall, this whole set just looks really... I really like the whole look of this set. And I'm excited to go to Eldraine for the first time, right? It's not the same just buying Throne of Eldraine packs, right? It's not, jeez. It's not the same going back to those, right? And redoing it. Brand new set, getting into it, that's what I'm excited about. So, here's some important dates, though. We get the first look at it. July 28th, so I'm assuming first look might be trailer, potentially, maybe? The debut and previews begin on August 15th. September 1st through 7th is pre-release events, so for a full week almost we get pre-release events. The 5th is the digital launch on MTG Arena, so I'll be doing that live when it launches, and then we'll look at the cards, we'll look at the Mastery Pass on Arena, and then we'll also do a Premier Draft, which is a tradition now. Every time a new set drops, boom, Premier Draft. So those are some things that we're going to do there. And then the global launch is... the global launch happens on September 8th. So that is... that's what's happening there. Now we're going to get a look into Commander Masters. Commander Masters is the next big Commander-only sort of thing that they're doing. So excited to see how this looks and what and what we get from this. So first off, let's take a look. We're getting in the first one on the whole thing. And yes, I am doing something else as well at the same time. I'm sorry. Nice little throw out here. Glitch Energy just released a brand new shaker. So I am currently making sure I get the brand new shaker that just came out by now. Orders processing. Boom. There we go. Nice. All right. So, Commander Masters is all, actually, I should probably, can I show that one? There we go. We'll show that one first. There. So there it is. There's the look at Commander Masters. Commander Masters is for, or the main part of it is for pre-con decks. This is the thing that everybody was waiting for and to see, and we got a first look at all the actual commanders in each one, and I hate 2 of them. Here's the first one I hate. I actually sent this to a buddy of mine because he used to run Eldrazi a lot, so I sent him this, and he goes, "Oh, fun." So we got Huladok Void Gorger, 5 colorless Eldrazi. Colorless spells you cast from your hand with a mana value of 7 or greater have Cascade and Cascade. So if they put it twice, it's not a typo. That means you do it twice. When you cast when you cast one, exile cards from the top of your library until you exile a non-land card that costs less. You may cast it without paying its cost, put the exiled card on the bottom of your library in a random order, then do it again. Yeah, fuck Eldrazi's. That's the first thing. Then we get this. Anik the Hand of Erebos. Okay. White, black, green, 2 colorless. Legendary enchantment creature, Demigod. She is a 4/4. She has Menace. Other enchantment creatures you control have Menace. Whenever she enters the battlefield or attacks, exile up to 1 target non-aura enchantment card from your graveyard. Create a token that's a copy of that card, except it's a 3/3 black zombie creature in addition to its other types. So that's really interesting to me, because then that basically means that you can bring back enchantments from your graveyard, right? But they're also a creature, so that's really kind of cool. I'm intrigued to see how this would play out, because it makes... I know that Theros had a lot to do with enchantment creatures, so it's interesting to see, especially reading that card, you could have just a base-up enchantment. It's not an enchantment creature, just a base enchantment. Create a token of it and put it back into play, and it's a 3/3 black zombie, in addition to it being everything else. So that's kind of interesting to see that. Commodore Guff. A lot of people hate Commodore Guff. I'm not sure why. Dude seems kind of cool. He's a legendary planeswalker, Guff. 1 blue, 1 red, 1 white, and 1 colorless. At the beginning of your end step, put a loyalty counter on another target planeswalker you control. So his whole commander deck is based off of just planeswalkers. It's just tons of planeswalkers. +1, create a 1/1 red wizard creature token with add 1 red. Spend this mana only to cast planeswalkers. -3, you draw X cards, and Commander Guff deals X damage. Commodore Guff deals X damage to each opponent, where X is the number of planeswalkers you control. He can be your commander. So he is the planeswalkery. It's really an interesting card. I know people don't like Guff. He's supposed to be the guy, like he's supposed to be like the legendary planeswalker that knows everything that's gonna happen, right? He's kind of like that. He's the overarching. I don't want to say villain, but he's like the overarching, like all-knowing, high-specter sort of character and lore. He knows everything that's happening. He sees it in his books. He knows exactly how everything's going to play out. He stays out of it, though. He doesn't interrupt it. Interesting abilities. I like being able to create the wizards, and the wizards being able to use... you can use the wizards to get more planeswalkers out, basically. Overall, I'm very interested. I know DeNutte is very excited about this. He pre-ordered this one already. So I am very excited to see... very excited to see how this deck plays the next time once he gets this, and me and him actually play a game of Commander again. It'll be interesting to see how it works and looks. And then the final fuck yourself card is the Sliver Grave Mother, because of course why not? We need more slivers, right? I hate slivers, man. One of everything. The legend rule doesn't apply to slivers you control. Each sliver creature in your graveyard has Encore X, where Encore is its mana value, and Sliver Grave Mother has Encore 5. So for people that don't know, Encore is tap 5, or however much the conversion the mana cost is. Exile this card from your graveyard. For each opponent, create a token that attacks that opponent this turn if able. They gain haste. Sacrifice them at the beginning of your next end step. Activate only as a sorcery. Basically, if you get slivers in the graveyard, you can bring them back for a turn and just have them swing. I hate slivers, man. I hate slivers. I hate slivers so much. But that is the commander decks, though. I know there is a thing where as creators, I think maybe as creators, we're kind of boycotting Commander Masters because the price for it, for like a box of it, or like cards of it, or like packs of it, is some absolute dumb number. I'm not gonna get anything from this. I'm gonna be genuinely honest with you. Not gonna get anything from this. Eldraine right now looks really cool to me, so I'm probably going to get stuff from Eldraine. And then I'm going to get stuff from this next one, which is getting more info about Universe Beyond's The Lord of the Rings Tales of Middle-earth set. We got a couple new things here. Not a whole lot of things, just a couple new things here. So the first one is Call of the Ring. Love the look of this card. I love the look of all these cards from the Lord of the Rings set, to be genuinely honest. It's an enchantment at the beginning of your upkeep. The ring tempts you. Whenever you choose a creature as your ring bearer, you may pay 2 life. If you do, draw a card. So, okay, so you pay life, draw a card, right? It's a very interesting thing. It's only 2. Solid. Then we have Sauron the Necromancer, and I'm going to get to the other card in a little bit. I love the look of these cards. That's one of the big things that I really liked about this, is we know what these characters look like. Right, we know. We have video games, we have the movies, and we have the animated movie, right? So we have an idea of what all these characters look like. So they're having to put their own kind of special, unique twist on these. And I'll say this right now, man. That Sauron, this looks freaking dope. Like, I never would have thought that. And then the showcase one looks just as cool, right? So I'm really excited to see what the rest of the cards look like. But this is Sauron the Necromancer. 3 colorless, 2 black. Legendary creature, Avatar Horror with Menace. Whenever Sauron the Necromancer attacks, exile a target creature card from your graveyard. Create a tapped and attacking token that's a copy of that card, except it's a 3/3 black Wraith with Menace. At the beginning of your next end step, exile the token unless Sauron is your ring bearer, which is really interesting, right? So if Sauron isn't the ring bearer, it's a one turn menace 3/3. That's solid, right? I think we can all agree on that. That's pretty solid, right? We'll take that all day. But if he's your ring bearer, it just stays. So, and then this is where things are gonna get a little bit complicated. A little bit complicated. Okay. This is the ring. You guys confused? I'm confused. There's so much going on here, and that's one of the big things that I've been seeing with a lot of people saying, is there's so much here. This almost feels like a Yu-Gi-Oh card with how much writing is on this. So the ring. Your ring bearer is legendary and cannot be blocked by creatures with greater power. Whenever your ring bearer attacks, draw a card, then discard a card. Whenever your ring bearer becomes blocked by a creature, that controller's creature sacrifices it at the end of combat. Whenever your ring bearer deals combat damage to a player, each opponent loses 3 life. So a lot to unpack right there, immediately. So ring bearer has to be legendary, and it can't be blocked by creatures that are stronger than it. If it attacks, you have to draw a card, then discard. It doesn't say you may, it just says do it. If it becomes blocked by a creature, that creature has to be sacrificed at the end of combat. And then when it deals combat damage to a player, everyone loses 3 life. So very interesting there. Also, it doesn't say, it just says your ring bearer is legendary. It doesn't. There's no mana cost here. There's no nothing. So like, how do we put it on a creature? Like, how do we have that, right? The ring tempts you. As the ring tempts you, you get an emblem named the ring, if you don't have one. Then your emblem gains its next ability, and you choose a creature you control to become and remain your ring bearer. So there you go. So once you get tempted, says like when the card says the ring tempts you, you get an emblem named the ring. It gains its next ability. So I'm assuming it goes boom, 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 boom. These are just abilities there. The ring can tempt you even if you don't control a creature. Interesting. The ring gains its abilities in order from top to bottom. Once it gains an ability, it has that ability for the rest of the game. So it starts here, and then it becomes this one. Then it becomes this one. Then it becomes this one. So it just keeps going. Each time the ring tempts you, you must choose a creature if you control one. So there you go. So you have to put the ring on a creature, basically, if it tempts you. If you don't have one, then it doesn't. So your ring bearer is legendary. Basically means like it now becomes legendary as soon as you use it. Each player can have only one emblem named the ring, and only one ring bearer at a time. So that's the interesting part. So what happens if I have the ring on something and someone else puts a ring on it? Do they just kind of cancel out and then that's it? Boom, done? Right? like I said, I've been seeing a lot of stuff online about like there's so much wording here and it's very confusing, and I'm really hoping that once the set comes out, they make a nice little video showing us kind of like, hey, this is how this is gonna work fully for you guys, so you guys know, right? Like that sort of thing. But that was MagicCon Minneapolis. I'm very excited, looking forward for what we have. I'm very excited for Universe Beyond Lord of the Rings, and I'm very excited for the Wilds of Eldraine. Those are the two big ones for me personally that I'm really excited about. And I've already, like I said, I've already ordered some stuff from that, and from this one, I've already ordered some stuff too. So already been on it. So let's pause the music now as we start to wrap this up. Already on it, already buying stuff, already getting the good, right? So here's my question though to you guys: what did you guys think so far of what we've been given, right, as potential stuff that's come out? Do you guys like the look of Eldraine? Are you guys interested in the Doctor Who set? Is the Lord of the Rings stuff still exciting to everyone? Do you guys like or hate the Commander Master stuff? Let me know down in the comments. I'm very excited to know what everyone's thoughts are. And also, as a quick little update for everyone, because I don't think I got to show this last week, I finally got the first beginning parts of my Commander deck. The first beginning parts of my Commander deck are here now, and my Commander, I have decided, as of right this second, my Commander, if you guys will be able to see it, is Lieutenant Qatar. That's right, I'm going white tribal burb. We're going burbs. I'm gonna go with the birds, the Avens. I loved them when I was a kid, when I first started playing the game in Odyssey. I'm moving on from Odyssey to Torment, to Scourge, Judgment, Onslaught, Legion. That whole block, right? Those two blocks right there. I loved the look of the Avens. So I've said I'm going old school. I'm gonna rock white burb. So anyone out there that runs white burb, let me know down in the comments. Let me know what I should be looking for, right? Potential pitfalls and potential traps that I could have trying to make this deck. But now that I actually have some cards of it, we can actually start working forwards to making this deck. So let me know down in the comments about that. And what Commander deck are you guys working on? Got a lot of things I want you guys to talk to me about, right? Just talk to me about this stuff, right? Come on, just talk to the Husky man about it, right? And then I'll pass it on to DeNutte afterwards. But that's it. That's what we got, man. That's what we got. Lord of the Rings, Eldraine, Doctor Who, and Commander Masters. Those are the big ones. I'm not going to talk about March of the Machine Aftermath because I just genuinely don't like the look of the set. So, but let me know what you all think down in the comments down below, right? And as always, depending on where you are, morning, afternoon, even night, still trouble, stay safe, and we'll talk to you all later. Bye.